we've got some good news, and we're going to hear how to break into this field of marketing, the expansion that some of these experts are taking on in their companies, the alliances they're creating. And it is $1 trillion. Think of that for a minute. $1 trillion market. That's the U.S. Hispanic market in the United States.
We find that, as you alluded to, it's not as cut and dry or as black and white as that. It's not 18 to 24 English, 35 to 54 Spanish. It's not quite like that. Context plays a part. So what are you talking about? Where are you talking? How are you communicating?
I think we probably start the discussion with what is the context? What are we trying to say? How are we trying to connect? And in what environment are we in? And then let's figure out from a language standpoint. So it starts culturally, it starts with relevance, it starts with this concept of toggling, and then it's very much a case-by-case basis, how to make the best connection.
I agree with all the panelists, but at the core, it's like, who are we trying to reach? And there's Hispanics that were born here, there's Hispanics that weren't. Who are we trying to reach? That's kind of like the timeout. We always tend to look at the Hispanic market as, or define it or address it as, we're reaching the Hispanic market. But within the Hispanic market, who are we trying to reach? Sometimes it's age demographic, sometimes it's lifestyle, sometimes it's life stages.
Give us an example of a campaign or an event that you had to do in English versus one in Spanish. Can we do that?
I guess in our case, the best example would be an Spanglish website. We gotta remember we are a digital marketing agency, and it was done for Reebok. And they were first looking to reach young Latinos, and the best place to reach them was to find them online. And young Hispanics, like any young people right now, you can see them texting, connected on the computer. So we built Barrio RBK.
The earthquake in Chile, we were the first news organization to get actually live footage of the earthquake happening in Chile. So we took a piece that was actually in Spanish and brought it to the US, put it on our site, and CNN actually called us to basically have that piece of video live on CNN General Market Cable.
I'd like to talk more about social networking and how Hispanics use those sites. Which social networking sites do Hispanics tend to use most? And how have you incorporated social networking into your campaigns?
Social networking for us is a complement of what we do. So we produce content that's unique to our audience, and we tie in to the social networks out there, to the Facebook, to the Twitters, even to search mechanisms such as Google, to be able for users to find and share our content. At the end, this, what we call social network today, is a huge experiment to be able to let your friends know what your life experience is on a day-to-day basis. And content consumption is a big experience in that. So we want to make sure that through our site, you're able to let friends know when you see content that appeals to you. And so for us, all those sites are complementary or partners.
At the same time, I think it is important to understand what is the role of social media with a brand marketer. And the role really is to validate the message. It's where consumers are going to find out whether a message is true. You can't just lie anymore, about your message. You have to be true, and you have to build your message together with the audience. You're not going to be able to do it on your own.
There's a lot going on with print, and I'll let, do we want to start with Matias, Alberto?
No, I said we start with Marla.
So I think it's not isolated to the Hispanic discussion. The print discussion is a tough one. It's a tough one in this country. There's a lot of discussion about how print, newspaper, magazine, how do they stay relevant when everything is moving to a digital realm, and it's more a tablet, it's an e-reader. How can I get the content that I want wherever I want it in a portable fashion and make use of technology, which is only going to keep growing? So I think all the publications that you mentioned and many more are in an effort to stay relevant. It's not that print is dead by any means. I mean, there's huge print campaigns to talk about, that's something that you want to have with you, that it's a guilty pleasure, or it's a way to consume content that's really immersive, but they're all seeing the opportunity for how they can evolve. And that's a reason that there are online destinations that complement their print product. That's a reason that we've worked with some of them to create digizines, where you create a digital version of particular content from some of the publications. And again, really great content wins depending on how you serve it up. That just makes it a bit more portable, but I think they're all really striving to figure out how to stay relevant and how to keep growing in an area where paper and print production it's getting more difficult.